My name is Mike Murphy. I'm playing Uncle Charlie. So I'm playing Charlie, who is Willie and Linda Lohman's next-door neighbor. And I think if you read into the subtext of the play, I am Linda's brother. I think it describes him in the text very specifically, that his interactions with Willie, he's a strong character, but he has basically every time he talks to Willie, it's with pity. He understands the difficulties that Willie's going through, and is doing his best to try to help him. I mean, there's some comedic relief that comes with my character, I think, but at its baseline, and I run a successful company, and I understand what it means to be a success, and I see the lack of success that Willie's having and really what it's doing to him. I have been doing theater since I was a little kid, and I think my first show was, I was a child in a Christmas show that my older sisters were in. I think I was 3 or 4 years old when we did that a long time ago. And my favorite show was, I was in American Buffalo, which is a David Mamet production, and I played Teach. The best part about community theater is the fact that we can bring sort of world-class theater and some really thoughtful productions to the Salisbury community, and we don't have to have people driving to Baltimore or DC to get what is really a quality production. The difference between doing a drama and a comedy, I mean, I think it's really a drama is a little bit easier. I think I'm trying to remember the famous line about drama is easy, comedy kills. It is really difficult to get the timing right in a comedic production. It is really difficult if everybody's not on the same book to make it work. And a drama, it's not easy to do a drama because none of it's easy. You really have a different type of emotion when you're dealing with drama versus comedy. But I think drama comes more naturally to most people, and sort of doing comedy and having the right timing to do a comedy is much more difficult. I think when you talk about why Death of a Salesman is important, it won the Pulitzer Prize in 1949 for a reason. It's timeless. It talks about the difficulties of living in a large society and what comes to people who place their faith and their future in large corporations or companies that don't necessarily have their best interests at heart, and reaching a point in your life where you are banking on certain things occurring and realizing that you're just sort of a cog in a machine, and the difficulties that come with that. The fact that it's 1949 and he's a salesman with a big company is really not much different than it being 2017 or 2018 and working for a Microsoft or a Facebook. At some point you're going to be pushed out for the younger, less expensive member of the group, and Death of a Salesman is timeless that way, and it deals with themes of family, conflict, friends, all of these things and how they affect people as they get older, particularly those who find themselves on the fringes of society or who find themselves cast off by companies that they really were counting on for their livelihood, for much more of their life than they were guaranteed. I hope what audiences really take away from this show is the importance of family and the importance of understanding who you are and realizing that your dreams don't have to necessarily conform with what you think society's thoughts of you are. I think there's a great line in this show in the very last scene between me and one of Willie's sons, where Willie was always happiest doing construction and being a guy who built things, never knew who he was. And if there's something that people can come to this show and realize is, you don't have to go along the path that everybody else goes along. If you find your own path and you can be happy on that path, that's the path you should take.